G'day everyone, welcome to this week's Live on the Hulls. I'm Ross and I'm building 42-foot catamaran out of composite foam core material. A little sneak peek of our sugar scoops there. They're fed and I've spent some pretty tough times over the last few days on my knees with an orbital and a torture board getting them right. Now, this week I'm going to be inside the boat finishing the flow coating of the dinette module, ready for our electrical compartment, our battery box, and also our Victron energy system that we're installing in the boat. Now that's coming up in a few weeks. That's going to be a rolling coverage of the electrical components because it's pretty hard to film and it's pretty hard to be around when you're doing it. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Now there are up-to-date photographs on our Patreon site for all our patrons, and for anyone that wants to subscribe, please keep in touch with us on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to go over and like us on Instagram or follow us or whatever you do, and there's some pretty good photos there of Janet doing some pretty hard graft as well. I've actually got the stern tubes in today and I'm pretty happy with that. That's a massive milestone. Let's get into it. Literally months of preparation has gone into the next half an hour, and that is to flow coat out this electrical compartment. Now I've basically put some lights in here because it's very dark in here. God knows how I'm going to film it, but I need to get flow coat all the way along the back there and do all the sides and the back of the dinette module here before I can even consider doing the floor. But the nice thing is I can actually reach the floor and this bulkhead here. So I'll do this compartment first. I'm a little bit low on flow coat. I'm actually waiting on some new stuff, but I'll get this particular compartment done. This is the most important one. This is where we're going to be starting to put all the wiring and the Victron inverter and all of the links distribution center. Everything's going to be in here, and we'll be engaging into this conduits down in here. Now it's a little bit dirty down in there, but I'm going to clean that up later on, but I intend to flow coat all the way down into there and do this entire compartment so that it's fresh and dust free for the first time ever.
Alright, just finished that one. Probably going to need a bit of a sand down because there's a lot of surfaces in there. Now I'm actually just going to give the battery compartment a quick flow coat out, and once again I might even do a second coat in here. This one here I'm going to have to sand a few mounts in for the batteries, but for now I just need to be able to get the wiring in. Very important that I can just work in here without having to flow coat later on with wires. That's the last thing I want to do.
Man, what a job. I'm on to compartment number 3. I've done the battery compartment, and I asked Janet to rip my hat off because I was getting a bit hot and it fell in it. So I'm going to have to tidy that up at a later date. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Come back, give it a light sand. Might do a whole new layer on the bottom of the battery compartment there. This storage compartment here, I've already started, used up a bit of extra. Got a bit going off there now, and that's now done. Now I'm probably going to give it a light sand and just see how it's come up and maybe do a bit of touching up. Not that overly concerned because most of it's going to be pretty not visible at all to the naked eye because it's going to have a big cover over the top, but I do like it to be nice and neat and dust free. So yeah, pretty happy to be able to get this done. Funnily enough, I was struggling and I hung a light up and 2 spiders went straight into it. Now, it doesn't matter what you do, the bloody spiders in this place, there is millions of them. If you're a bit of arachnophobe, then this is not the place for you. There are spiders everywhere and result in spider shit all over my nice white gel coat. I'm just hoping I can get that off. Should come off pretty easy. But I'm going to get in and do this one now, and we'll move forward.
You can see here there was actually a rope there that I used to demold this module. I'm going to leave that sort of swirl there as a bit of a character reference to the day that I pulled it off the mould and then we killed Janet. Well, it's not funny, I almost killed her. We squashed her between the garage and the module, and she was not happy. But anyway, what do? You just got to keep powering along, and we'll just keep cleaning this one up and get it done.
Alright, I'm going to finish this last compartment. I've run out of flow coat. I've got another 30 kilos of it coming later on this afternoon. I'm going to nail this one here. A bit wet today. I really shouldn't be gel coating or flow coating. If I was spraying it, I certainly wouldn't be doing it because I'm rolling it. It's going up pretty quick. And it is pretty dry, and now I've just wiped it down with acetone. But yeah, it's shocking weather at the moment. I've been going so hard the last couple of weeks, and I'm starting to think about integrating the deck to the edges of this dinette module. Now, just this afternoon, I flow coated out the electrical compartment, this storage compartment, the battery compartment is all flow coated out. Now, I'm starting to think about how I'm going to integrate this into the actual deck. The whole module is actually glassed in. It's all blocked in, all filled and basically glued, and it's as solid as a rock. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mask off this area here, around about 6 centimetres or so, or maybe about 8 centimetres, and I'm going to grind away the gel coat on the module here, like I've done just here. And what that's going to allow me to do is basically tab the deck to the module itself. Now, you might think I tab everything, I'm paranoid about it. Well, I am. That will be tabbed with a couple of layers of 400 double bias, and then I'll put a finishing cloth on it so that I get a nice smooth finish. And then I can come in and basically sand with a bit of a torture board and an orbital and get this nice and flat and try to work out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to paint it, fair it, paint it, and then integrate it all in and make it look like it's all one piece, which should look really nice. I'm really looking forward to having a white ceiling here so that I can get away from the green. So I'm going to get in now. I'll get my rolling sander and sand away all this, and I might even continue on. It depends on how long it takes me. It's a pretty arduous task grinding away that gel coat, but the key is to get it all done so that I can then start to tie it together. What started at 5 PM and it's about 5 to 8 now. I thought I'll do it all while I'm going. I've basically completely sanded the margin between the deck and the dinette module, and yeah, that was a stinker of a job. Dusty, noisy, and I'm gonna have to go and blast all the bloody dust off my clothing because I'm just absolutely covered in it. But for now, I'm really happy. I'm shattered. I'm gonna go home. It's pouring rain, and I just want to go home and sit in front of the fire or something because I'm cold and I'm tired, and I've had an absolute gutful for the day. And yeah, there's been some massive stuff going on here at the Huntles the last couple of days. Janet spent the last 2 days making hatches, and yeah, we're both just absolutely knackered. But, you know, we love every second of this build. It's all starting to come together now. I can see the final picture here. A lot of tidying up, a lot of fairing, and a lot of gel coating to come. But as you can see, by completing all of this structure and getting everything sitting in place, I can now work out what needs to go where. Up until now, this has been the great unknown. And I actually call what's up in here the great unseen. You're never going to see this again, any of this area up in here, once I enclose this box for the life raft. But what is vital is that seam is sound. It's one of those things, if you can't reach it, often you can't see it, and then you can't determine whether there's been a problem in there. sometime down the track. Now the ocean's going to throw some pretty serious shit at any boat, and with this particular boat being a catamaran, the hulls are always wanting to tear apart, and we're seeing a lot of bulkhead problems, a lot of issues with the bridge decks where they're just not structurally sound and they're rotting and they're moving, and you know, the internet's full of it at the moment. I'm trying not to play on that because, to be honest, I'm just building my own boat. I don't care what other brands do. What I do is important to me, and that's the most important part. So all of this here, although it does look like a dog's breakfast, will come together to form a very, very nice rear end. If anyone ever tells you that something's too hard to get to or can't be joined, don't believe it. You just got to work out a way. And in this case, it was cutting a massive hole. I'm able to get up and finish the internal seam on the stern of this boat. Now that's really important because this is going to be ground back flat, and I want to have a nice faired edge along here, along the back of the boat here. And the only way to guarantee that is to do an internal seam and then a superficial one on the outside here. So I'm glassing up in underneath there and making sure that I'm getting this all tied in. So I've got a couple of templates I'm making to fill these in. I'll make these out of 20mm foam. I've got some pre-laminated up there. Right, so I've got some little bits to fill in here. I've basically got where that hatch I cut out for access, I'm going to have to fill that in and put a smaller hatch in, or not a hatch at all. Little areas like this I do want to fill because I want a very, very solid join here and also up the top here, but this piece will actually come in and intersect at the top of this and the top of this dinette backrest, and then I'll be able to actually physically laminate the top from the inside as well. It's actually worked out a lot better than I thought. I'm really at a point where I can almost glass the entire thing inside and out, which is not often the case when you're doing a job like this. But for now, I'll just put in these little infill pieces to make sure that I get the piece the exact size. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to put this one in, and you can see I've put some little cleats in just to hold it in place until it's set. So it'll take 3 or 4 hours for it to set, but then I'll be able to come in and obviously do my fillets and tab the thing in correctly with the vinyl ester switch back. But I'm going to use epoxy to hold this in because it is a bit of an important part of the boat. A little bit of masking tape over it stops it from falling away and getting ugly. Right now I'm going to put in the roof of the life raft box, and I've given it a lot of thought because I need to be able to get in and tab the underside of it as well, and having those hatches on either side of the loungeette inside those compartments has really given me good access. So now I can physically tab, glass, glue the entire box inside and out, and really that's important because if we get a big wave wash up in there, we don't want that smashing up inside it. I've made sure the entire back of this unit is totally structural and totally sound. It's been a bit of a job getting it all together, but I'm certainly getting there. Once I glue this together, I'm going to basically get it all tabbed in together, and then I'm going to leave it for a while. I've got other more pressing things like the electrics and the plumbing, and cutting out all my floor hatches, getting in the completed conduiting all the way through the boat, and then I'm into the engine rooms to make sure that I'm ready to put some wiring in. I'm not going to be bashful about the amount of epoxy I'm going to use here. I want to use as much as I can. Do your best and bog the rest. Now I've actually beveled away this part here, which is actually going to glue to the underside of the lounge suite here, so this can have copious amounts of glue on it. This space. Yuck. I'm going to end up with this shit everywhere. Right, here we go.
Wow, you're making the book.
Yeah.
For
Indeed.
yourself?
Yeah, by myself.
Wow.
It's been a big job.
We are going, Joanna.
Hey?
We are going. Go to American.
Nah,
Oh,
probably
New Zealand.
Tahiti, Fiji maybe.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the plan. Probably not go to America.
You sure can walk in? Could be.
Sail around the world, yeah, I could sail around the world, yeah.
Is it?
It's a big job, darling. Oh, can you do me a favour?
Yes.
Could you pass me that drill? See that drill there? I just can't let this go. Watch that glue.
That one?
Don't get that glue on you.
That one.
Thank you, yeah, perfect. Just watch that glue in that container there. Don't
And the
touch
glue.
it. No, that's fine. Just don't get that on you. That glue. Don't touch, don't touch. Walk away, walk away. No, don't touch it. I don't need it. No, don't touch it.
Where?
No,
That one?
no, I'm good. I'm good now.
Is it
Thank
okay?
you. Yeah, thank you very much. I just can't let this go because it'll drop.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you. Well, brilliant. You saved me. You saved me. Try to think things through. Always get your shit organised because I wasn't organised. Funny stuff. Just need to do a bit of gap filling, but yep, that can now be totally glassed in, faired out, and bogged, and that's pretty much that component done. what I thought it'd take a couple of hours, it's taking me about 3 to 4 hours. I think I'm almost at 4 hours, but yeah, basically it's got 2 good layers in here. Now you got to remember that this is actually 4 layers thick already, so all I'm trying to do is integrate, and integrating is something that is going to be the order of the day for quite some time. As you can see, there's a lot of this has to happen, but the nice thing is I've got a really nice radius in here. I've got a layer of 600 double bias, a layer of 100 surfboard sort of finishing cloth, finishing it off, peel plied, and when you look at it, it actually looks like it's all one part now, and that's the whole key to this integration, is to get everything looking like it belonged, and you know, it may not quite yet, but it's going to get there, and this is part and parcel of the detail required to complete a job. And completing this job is really not so paramount. It's something I can sort of come out to and do half an hour, and then I can go on with something else, because it's an area of the boat that really isn't going to get a lot of attention. I'm more inclined to work inside, but I've got nothing going on in there right now. I'm waiting for a couple of things to go off, and then tomorrow come straight back into it, straight back into flow coating, doing conduits, getting ready for the electrical install.